Yo, welcome back to another episode of my show presented to you by Passion Park Entertainment. I am glad to be back. I hope you all had a wonderful week. Got some stuff done. Got to enjoy this summer weather. You know what I'm saying? I know we've had a pretty busy week over here. It's been a fun, festive month of July so far. You know, we got like a lot going on over here. But before I get into this episode, talk a little bit about what I got going on, and then some, NBA final stuff and a little what to watch like we used to do. We're gonna try to get back to the old school format. You know what I mean? The regular 5 minutes, hit them. The time usually goes a little different. I don't know. I'm already going over the announcement time right here. But anyways, only one real announcement that I need to highlight, and that's my album, baby. The Other Side drops 7/20, which is July 20th, which is Tuesday, which is AKA Monday night at 12 p.m. Eastern, so 11 p.m. Central. Pretty much, that's when the album actually drops on streaming services. I got a bunch of new content as far as videos go that comes with it. There'll be something else dropping this week. There'll be something else dropping next week, the following week after that, and then just forever. Maybe not forever, but I got a lot of stuff coming for it. I appreciate all the support we've gotten thus far, but I really need continuous support. I need people to stream it. I need people to pre-save it. I need people to order it. I need people to share it. Like I really want this project to do well. Super proud of it, and I'm excited to release it, and to hopefully get some show dates and perform it for you guys and all that. But anyways, that's the only real announcement. Go to www.thedavidlopez.com/theotherside. You'll find everything about the album. You'll be able to pre-save it there, order it there. You'll be able to watch all the music videos that go with it, the trailer, all that jazz. Or go to passionparkent.com, and then on the homepage, you'll see all of our new videos and whatnot. That's pretty much it. So go get The Other Side. Let's get into the show.
David Lopez is the name. It's my show. Welcome to it.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So, right up top, we do a little music section. Obviously, I'm talking to you about the album. I've pretty much been talking about it for I don't know how long. The past couple months, I've been saying some spiel about it, whether it's something editing, mixing, whatever it may be. Currently, I'm in the process of doing some behind-the-scenes stuff, right? So, like, fourth quarter, the music video, that's out. That's the first music video. I've got 3 other music videos already done and uploaded and scheduled. So that's, like I think I mentioned before, I was trying to plan ahead with us having the kid and whatnot. So we've been pretty busy and tied up with that. But I've got all that stuff. But I also want to get some, like, behind-the-scenes type content, some, like, documentary-style things as I've done in the past. If you remember with So Much More 2, I did a short film that was essentially like documentary style covering like how I made it and stuff. I'm pretty much doing the same thing for this project. The only difference is the documentary really centers around the visuals for the project and how those came about and just what inspired all of the music videos and legitimately just the theme for the album pretty much. And I'm really excited about this. I've been editing it, the past couple of days, pretty much tirelessly. That's not right. Endlessly. I've been really getting at it as much as I can when I suppose when the women of my household allow, if that makes sense. Because obviously my wife and then the baby's running the show. You know what I'm saying? So I've been trying to squeeze in as much editing as I can, but I'm really excited to release that. I've talked about plenty of times on this show, like somebody like who does a lot of their own stuff, like me, for instance. What is that noise going on here? Speakers making a noise there. Okay, somebody like me who does, I edit my own videos, artwork, mix all my songs pretty much. I haven't always done that. In the past, I've worked with a lot of other people. But lately, and pretty much the past couple of years, I've just been in-housing everything, right? And I've talked about how I go through these swings, right? Like when I'm hardcore editing, like right now, we're pushing out this project. I'm trying to get all the content done. I usually am not writing as much music or making as much music, and I don't know, it just is how my brain's functioning, and unfortunately, fortunately, whatever it may be, it's like that for me right now. Like I haven't written a song, a verse, a bar, a hook, anything, not even one little lick of something since Gianna was born, since my daughter was born. Now I'm not beating myself up about that. It's just interesting for me to think about, because like the last song I made before she was born, like a day before, I was writing raps and doing all that shit. I just haven't really, I guess I haven't gotten a chance to, and I've been working all this. I've gotten a chance to, but I've been working on other stuff and mixing stuff. And it's really where my mind is just at. It like when I'm thinking about like how to line up visuals, I start to think differently, and I don't necessarily walk around in my head thinking about like song lyrics and shit and like those kind of ideas. Which generally, like, if I'm in a creative music mode, like when I'm in album mode or like a lot of times right after I finish the recording for the album, actually this happened with this one. As soon as I finished what I thought was finished the recording for this album, I made like 4 other songs that like, you know, were just me rapping. That was just like I just wanted to make songs because my mind's fresher and I'm just in the mode of writing music, right? So that stage, you know, I'm waiting for that to come back, honestly. But the thing that like, if you've seen that J. Cole documentary that he dropped with the off season, he talks about how like he would be waiting for inspiration a lot, and like I've, you know, done that, and like whatever, a lot of artists do. You wait for inspiration. You're like, yeah, I'm not ready to write something. Nothing's coming to me, right? But at a certain point, you just gotta make yourself write some shit. Like you gotta sit in that chair and like and just start writing. Like legit, it's so funny, not so funny, but that documentary is great because it really, to me, for at least for how I write it, it just spoke to it because it was like, I think a lot of people deal with the hardest part is like that first line. A lot of times is getting that first line out and just trusting that even if you don't like it right away, it's gonna lead towards something else that's better, right? Because it's like starting. Honestly, that's for every song I've ever done. I think pretty much starting it is pretty much the hardest. Usually, it's like, how am I going to start this? What is it going to be? What's that first? Is that first verse or that first bar gonna sound cheesy and just like whatever is like whatever? But then like as you continue writing, it starts to form into something. I can't tell you how many times I've written or I began to write what I think is like a random verse. I'm just writing it, and then like the 8th or 12th bar in that verse that I'm writing becomes the hook of the song because I found something in there. I found a little pocket in there that I liked, and that's just like, I don't know. It goes to say that like while being inspired, especially with art, is like very important, and you want to find the right inspiration. You don't want to just like put out bullshit and like force out bullshit just to, you know, whatever. At the same time, you just got to do the work, and you got to sit down in the chair and put yourself just through it. Like act like it's a job, you know? And like, yeah, it reminds me of like writing. Like people always say writers, if you're a journalist or if you're you know, just a novelist, if you write books or whatever it may be, like, the work is sitting your ass in that chair and forcing something to happen. Sit down in the chair and make time for writing. Like that's what has to happen. And frankly, that's where I'm at right now. Like I'm trying to finish this last project, and then I'm going to get on my ass about like, you just got to start writing. I don't care if I'm sitting with the baby right here. I got to start getting back at that. With that said, sometimes I'll finish an album and I'll already have the next album started on. Like, in all honesty, I was already working on the other side, or at least in my head working on it when Chapters, that last EP I did, was coming out. Like, so I already knew. And like so much more too, so much more too, all that shit happened direct deposit. Like they were like overlapped with how I was creating it. But right now I don't have the idea for the next album. I got some ideas, but I don't have the real idea for the next album. I got a bunch of singles and songs that we got that are already lined up. And frankly, I'm already working on timing those out for after this. But I'm going to be pushing the shit out of the other side for a while. And that's what I've already gone longer than I meant to go on this topic, but I'll end it with this. What I'm most proud about so far with this, obviously I've taken more time just into creating and letting myself edit it. And that I've taken more time than I've ever done. Honestly, I've been more patient than I really ever have been with this. And I think it's just because I'm doing everything, and it's just honestly just a lot of work. But what I'm most proud about it is the I know the promotion is not exactly where it needs to be yet, but the amount and the time that I've given and the like effort I'm just straight up putting forth, like every post is like the other side, 720, the other side. Like, I don't know if I've ever really done that. And like, even when Preacher Son was coming out, my first album, I mean, I've been excited about every album I've ever dropped, but there's been some sort of self-conscious thing that's been holding me back from really putting the energy and like just the positive energy, like in the promotion that you can just feel the naturalness of it. I don't think I've really done that as well as I'm doing now. I'll say that at that much. I think I am doing a good job of just being like, this is what's happening on July 20th, the other side, July 20th. Like, and just like, I'm just really promoting the shit out of it. Whatever. That's stupid because I should have been doing that for all of them. But all I'm saying is I'm turning the corner in that regard, and I'm ready to just full-fledged promote stuff. So I feel good about that, at least. And I'm really excited for the drop next week. So if you can't tell, because I keep saying that shit. All right, let's get into some basketball stuff. Thank you guys for tuning into all that. You know what it is. Sorry, hit the wrong button as I do so many times. All right, so last week I came to you right before the finals started. Since that it was Tuesday night, so game 1 was about to start. And now we are Wednesday the following week, and game 4 is about to be played tonight. If you remember, I predicted Bucks over Suns in 7. I predicted that a couple weeks ago during the conference finals. Whatever, that's not like a shocking prediction. It was the conference finals already. We kind of all had a feeling as to who was going to advance there. Nonetheless, as NBA fans, whether or not you're an experienced NBA fan, you just watch the playoffs every year, you just like to catch the finals, or you like watch all the games, you watch all the teams in the regular season, you got League Pass, wherever you're at with fandom, it just seems like we constantly forget how series swing game to game. We just jump and overreact crazily always. Like, I mean, look, after game 1, people were like, there's going to be a sweep. After game 2, people were like, there's going to be a sweep. Forgetting that we're going back to Milwaukee, I guess, and that so often these series do change. Now, with that said, I will say 2-0 in the finals, going up 2-0 in the finals, I think it's 31-4 that the team wins. So, it's high likelihood that the Suns come out just from going on that 2-0 start, right? But then the Bucks win game 3, and we're all like Bucks and 6. They looked amazing. They figured something out. There's a little bit of both, guys. It's a little bit of both. Now, I know we're all in tune or programmed to think about these extremes probably because of First Take and Undisputed and all those shows, but it is a little bit of both. It's nuanced, okay? First of all, the Bucks have been terrible to start off every series in the playoffs thus far. Budenholzer is not a good in-game adjustment coach, but he does seem to be finding adjustments throughout series that help. Now, to the layman eye like us, a lot of people are like, yeah, you should have been making that adjustment earlier, and he doesn't make them in games. But to the Bucks' credit, in the whole playoffs, they have just gotten better throughout. It's just how it works. Now, I thought from 1 to 2. All right, so game 1, let's just put it like this. Game 1, Phoenix is rocking. I mentioned this last week. I don't know if I would have even played Giannis. Now I'm like, it's fine that he played, but because you're supposed to lose game 1 on the road with the crowd rocking like that, your star is not 100%. Like, that game is, you can pencil that in almost as a Phoenix W. Like, obviously you still got to play the game, but to me, watching that, like, they're probably going to win. The crowd's crazy. Devin Booker, Chris Paul, everybody came to play. They were hyped. It was their first finals game. It was just, I don't know. You could have chalked that up, right? So that game didn't surprise me at all. Yet people are watching that game and going, there's a sweep coming here. No, the adjustments we watched from that game were a lot that the adjustments needed that we watched. I think a lot of people said similar things. Brook Lopez probably can't be playing as much. They're doing that drop coverage, the same shit that happened against the Hawks. The Hawks, Trae Young exposed them on his floater in that game 1. The Suns, Chris Paul and Devin Booker are great mid-range. Actually, they just have a lot of good mid-range players and then some three-point shooters. So Suns are pretty good all around. Like, they don't really have many weaknesses. That's why the Suns are where they are. They don't have that many weaknesses. They're not like, they're not the best in the league at anything, I don't think, but they really don't have many weaknesses. And they're really good mid-range shooters, just Chris Paul and Devin Booker right there. So that kind of got exposed right away. I don't know what. It's the same thing that happened in the Hawks things. Like, what are they doing on screens, like, in game 1? And then the big thing that I thought, and I think I heard other people say, is, like, you have Drew Holiday, who everybody seems to say is the best guard defender in the league, right? Pretty much. I mean, maybe there's a couple. No, he pretty much is, right? He's amazing. And you weren't picking up at all. Like, Chris Paul didn't look that pressured in game. He looked so comfortable in game 1. He was making the decisions. Like, everybody was talking about how he is, point guard Chris Paul. Like, he is carving the Bucks up because they were giving him all this freedom. He had all this room. He could see everything. I mean, I always remember growing up, like, coaches always be like, get your hand in the point guard's face just so, like, he has to look around to make the pass over the top or whatever. Of course, that's a little, like, that's easier to say, and you can't really do that type shit. But, like, what you could have done and what a lot of people said was, like, Drew should be picking him up almost full court pretty much every play. Just hounding him. Make him turn a couple times. Make him go back and forth. Don't let him just be so comfortable. We've seen Chris Paul in big moments. Now, he's been clutch and done great things, but we've seen him in big moments when the pressure is on and when defensive pressure is on, make mistakes, big mistakes. And I was just shocked they didn't come out right away with that fierce kind of defensive energy in game 1. At the same time, like, there was some, like, finals jitters and nerves. Drew Holiday, even offensively, didn't look good. And to that point, I think sometimes a guy like Drew Holiday, his offense can come from his defense. He gets that. He plays like so strong defensively and high energy that, a couple of those good plays, couple stops can start to fuel him offensively, and that could they kind of go hand in hand. And what we saw in game 2 was kind of that. Now, game 2, I will say to this, game 2 was a little scarier if you're a Bucks fan in the sense that I thought the Bucks played well. I thought game 2 was an example of both teams playing pretty well because the Bucks, all right, Giannis had one of the best games, most of us, the finals have really ever seen. He was dominant, and the Bucks had the right intensity and energy. They made some switches. Drew was guarding full court like we were just talking about. He was doing that. I will say Middleton and Drew still did not show up scoring wise. It was all Giannis. And then what happens? So the Suns played great. The Suns won. They hit 23s. So I mean, it's hard to beat them at home when they hit 23s. But it was kind of deflating if you're a Bucks fan, probably because you're like, man, we played well and we still couldn't. We still lost by 10. But what I'll say to that is I heard so many people saying, you see, look, when Giannis dominates, Middleton and Drew just can't. They always struggle. It's just they always struggle whenever Giannis plays well. Look, they're saying that because they watched the Atlanta series. Giannis goes out for 2 games. Drew and Middleton play the best they've played all playoffs, and they were lighting shit up, right? I got to say this to that argument. It's a dumbass argument for if you watched game 2. I think a lot of people didn't really watch the game or something. Like, I don't understand. They're all like, see, Giannis is like, he's taking over too much, not letting those other guys go in. If you watched that game, Giannis did what he had to do. I don't think he took away opportunities from Drew and Middleton. I think Drew and Middleton did not show up. That was an example of him being like, I know that I have to score every single time because these guys are not coming through and they're just not here today. And so, like, that's what I got from that. So, honestly, there was a little bit of two sides. I thought the Bucks played well intensity, but Middleton, their 2 other All-Stars did not play well offensively, and they were only down by 10. So, I was like, all right, there's life. Honestly, I was like, this series should be 2-2 after 4. Just because you could see, this feels like one of those series where the role players play really well at home. It just feels that way. And we'll see. And a lot of finals are like that. The role players play well at home. But, like, it felt that way. Although, I will say in Game 3, as we're going to get to that right now, back in Milwaukee, one role player for the Suns who played amazing was Jay Crowder hit, like, 6 threes. It's kind of like home for him, though, because he played at Marquette here in Milwaukee, so I think he has, some ties there. But anyways, so I thought that was the Game 2 breakdown right there. The Suns played really well. The Suns, that game you would look at and be like, yeah, they might be the better team. They might be the better team. But that didn't deter me enough to be like, this series is over. Obviously, though, if you go up 2-0, what happens is Game 3 is the series. Game 3 is the series. Nobody's ever come back from 3-0. It just doesn't happen, right? So Game 3 is the series. And with that said, you cannot recreate that kind of desperation. The desperation that the Bucks had knowing their season's over, coming back, you can talk about it as a Suns player and fan, be like, no, we're going to end this series right here. It is what it is. But you can't really recreate that level of Game 7 type energy. Win or go home, really. It's not necessary. No, it pretty much was win or go home. They all knew it. You can't go down 3-0. They want to get the ring. And with that said, they came out. Storming, and they got a lead. But the Suns stuck around. The Suns stuck around until the big switch. I have to, as much as we talk shit about Budenholzer in these playoffs, I thought he's made some just alarming mistakes that are so, like, obvious when you look at it, or it appears that way, it feels that way. Monty Williams, he's coach of the year, great coach, right? Made some questionable moves in Game 3. I thought it was interesting. He took out DeAndre Ayton for a long stretch, which allowed Giannis to play big, and he plays big. To Giannis play center, and the Bucks to just be way bigger than the Suns, and they dominated. They went on this huge run. They took out Chris Paul, and they went on a run. It was, I don't know. I thought Monty made some questionable moves. That's essentially a clinching game for the championship. You got your stars with 4 fouls. I'd play him, honestly. Yeah. Because what happened was Aiden got his 4th foul. They took him out, and then they go on this big run, and then they bring him back in the 4th because they're like, all right, now we have enough time to bring him back, but they're down by like 20. Game's not over, down 20 with 10 minutes left in the NBA. Absolutely not. But I don't know. It was a questionable move there. Once again, Giannis absolutely dominated. He had 40 and 10 for 2 finals games in a row. He's only like the 3rd player ever to do that. It's LeBron and Shaq. And once again, the Shaq comparisons are to me seem just much more evident for Giannis. Like the way he even just rips the rim down on this crazy dunks off like a loose ball. Like he's more Shaq-like to me than anything. And how many times he gets to the line. This is going to be, particularly if the Bucks win, but even if they don't, this feels like this is going to be the Giannis series. Like the Suns don't have a matchup for him, which is what I said before the series, is if Giannis is healthy, I think the Bucks are winning because I don't think the Suns have a matchup for him. Now the thing I will say here is that Middleton did not play that great in game 3. Drew played really well in game 3 offensively. So it's 2-1. People are now saying Bucks in 6. Like, just the amazing amount of swings that people and fans have is crazy. It went from Suns in 4 to Bucks in 6, right? But Middleton hasn't really played that great yet, and the Bucks are down 2-1, and people think that they have the momentum to win this series. That, to me, is a good sign. I think tonight we're going into game 4. It's my little preview here. I got the Bucks tonight. I think this series is going to go back to Phoenix 2-2. I think Middleton's going to have a ball game tonight. I think this is going to be a game where he has one quarter where he goes off. And I think Giannis is going to have 35 and 10. I mean, that's where I'm at. I just don't see them stopping him. I don't know if he'll shoot as well from the free throw line as he did. If he does, the series, if he shoots as well from the free throw line, yeah, the Bucks could win in 6. Because, like, that's a tough point for them. I hear people on Twitter complaining, saying, like, Giannis is getting all these bullshit calls and, like, Devin Booker isn't getting the calls or whatever. I don't know what you guys are watching either. Like, they foul Giannis on purpose a lot. Like, they know what they're doing. They can't stop him, and that is it. That's the physical. Look, it's part of the game. People will complain and be like, he's not skilled, he's just overpowering you or whatever. Frankly, there's a reason that most NBA players are massive and that, you know, height matters in the NBA. Because that is part of it. Your size, athleticism, strength is part of your skill set. It is part of the game. So I don't want to hear those bullshit excuses. They're forced to foul them because they can't match up with them physically. That's what Shaq was. That is what it is. So I don't know. But I'm predicting a Game 4 Bucks victory. We're going to go back to Phoenix tied 2-2. And we're going to we already have ourselves a really entertaining finals. What I really do hope for, though, is we get a couple close games in the last, like, minute or so. Because right now every game is a blowout. Still entertaining for the basketball fan, but a blowout. And yeah, that's so I got the Bucks winning tonight. I'm gonna go with Bucks by 8 tonight. So still not a one possession game, but I'm gonna go with under 10 there. Bucks by 8 tonight. Will I bet on it? I don't know. I have a couple other bets flying here, and I'm gonna mention those right now. But before I get out of here, I'm already way long on the episode. I did hear somebody talk about the finals ratings. Actually, it was on the Ryan Russillo podcast. I was listening to him. NBA ratings I thought is interesting. They're way down because it's in July. Way less TVs are on in the month of July. It does actually make sense. Everybody thought, the NBA has their own time in July. Maybe it'll be more successful. Less successful because people are outside vacationing, doing whatever they do. So there's that. All right. So I mentioned you a couple bets. I'll just say real quick, I did hit a nice one in Game 3. I'm hoping I hit another one in Game 4. Wish me luck. Remember, I have Bucks and 7 on a couple bets, too. So that's kind of another reason that I've cheered for that. But I also just think that is, like, going to happen. Like, I just feel like that's going to happen. All because of that kid's tweet from 2016. He said 123 to 115. Should bet that exact score. I had a nice 3-way parlay that I hit in Game 3. It was Middleton to hit 3 threes, Connaughton to have 3 assists, and Giannis to have 6 assists. Legitimately, the weird thing is everything hit on the number. Connaughton had 4 assists. I'm sorry. Middleton hit 3 threes. He hit his third one in the fourth quarter in garbage time. I got so lucky, and Giannis had 6 assists. So shout out to the Bucks for making that one come through for me. I'm hoping we get another one tonight. But otherwise, I want to leave you with something not sports related. I used to do a little bit more of this, but it's my little what to watch segment. I just want to say my wife and I finally got to watch The Mayor of Easttown. You know, it's like the most popular show on HBO right now. It's a murder mystery. It was pretty fucking awesome. So I will suggest it to people. Check it out. It's one of those ones got great cliffhangers, keeps you watching the whole time. I mean, I had me going. So now we just started The Night Of, which is an older one on HBO, murder mystery. I think it moves a little slower than Mayor of Easttown. I could tell it's a couple years old. I feel like these The Mayor of Easttown and The Undoing and those shows kind of have built up because of the shows that came before them, like True Detective and The Night Of, which was super popular. I mean, we're enjoying that. We're 2 episodes in, but I think it moves a little bit slower. But either way, And then finally, it is my birthday this Friday, and Space Jam 2 comes out. So I'm going to be checking that out. I know a lot of people, I don't understand this. Of course, LeBron gets so much hate and slander, but like to the point where people are like, fuck Space Jam. How could they do this to the movies? Like, are you kidding me? Who was the other logical choice to have play the character that Michael Jordan played in Space Jam 1? It's LeBron James. It's so obvious to me that that's the choice. I don't get it. People's hate is blinding them from just obvious truths. I don't get it. Whatever. But I'm going to watch Space Jam 2 on my birthday. I'm going to enjoy that. It was also my wife and I's wedding anniversary yesterday, so that was nice. And then obviously our little baby girl is growing every day. So it's been a busy month and a fun month for us over here. Thank you for all the love and support everybody's been given to us. I'm sorry, all the love and support we've been getting. So yeah, enjoy the rest of your week. Enjoy your weekend and go get The Other Side, July 20th. You know what it is.